Hello, my dear ones. Today I have a special guest. Exactly because I keep seeing endless ads for matcha tea. Is there such a thing?
There is such a thing. I see it too.
You see it too? So who should I invite over to talk about this topic? Of course, Andrey. You've already seen him on my channel. We brewed tea and talked about tea. Basically, he's the only person in Israel, I think, who knows everything about tea. Please welcome Andrey.
Hello everyone. Yes, I'll share what I know.
Share with us. Look, let's start like this. Matcha, whose is this? What kind of tea is this? Why does it look like green powder?
Basically, matcha is just green tea that's been ground up really, really finely, like actually into a powder. It's impossible to make it like that at home. The grain size, if anyone can imagine it, is about 10 to 30 microns. It's something extremely fine.
No, I can't imagine that.
And this is done on special mills that have been developed in Japan since ancient times. In general, this is a traditional, specifically Japanese thing.
You actually brought me this tea and such a tiny, absolutely tiny little packet. Not serious in my opinion.
I guess I was being stingy.
Yeah, I was stingy. Matcha. 30 grams each. That's a small amount, likely just enough for a single drink.
No, but for matcha, roughly speaking, you need about 1.5 to 2. About 1 or 2 grams per cup. It depends on the strength we want to get. Basically, it's the same as with tea leaves. It's just that matcha will give us all of itself completely.
I know that there are some nuances when preparing matcha.
Yes, look, when it comes to making the drink, there are some nuances. And the most important one is that you shouldn't prepare it with very hot water. Because if we brew it with boiling water, it will be too bitter and too astringent. The quality of the powder itself also greatly affects this. Because matcha is not a specific type of tea, it's just literally, matcha actually translates as ground tea. Yes, definitely.
Because I've never tried it, not even once?
Yes, right now you...
Go ahead, give me a drink.
All our lives, we've mostly practiced the Chinese tea tradition. And here, we decided to explore Japan as well. It turned out to be a very interesting world. What makes the Japanese tea tradition unique? What makes it beautiful? First, it's a 1,000-year-old tradition. Besides China and Japan, there are no other such ancient tea traditions. Although the Japanese tradition originated from the Chinese, it has developed uniquely for 1,000 years. And what the Japanese do, in their own way, in a Japanese style, no one else in the world does anywhere.
Are we drinking Japanese matcha today?
Today we're drinking Japanese matcha. Matcha not from Japan doesn't truly exist. You can grind something elsewhere, but it won't be real matcha.
Matcha is matcha. So if someone tells you it's Chinese matcha, that's not matcha. It's not really matcha. You're just like always. I understand that you can't just come over empty-handed. You always bring some teapots, bowls, cups, and even...
Well, in Russian we call this a whisk.
A whisk made from some kind of bamboo.
Just bamboo. They cut it up like this, really finely too.
And what is this for?
It's for whisking matcha. It's a traditional way to prepare matcha. We pour in the powder, add water at about 70 to 80 degrees, and whisk it with this tool until it becomes smooth and foamy. This is the classic matcha people drink in the traditional Japanese tea ceremony, which many have heard of.
You're disappointing me.
Sorry.
Are you saying that it's not enough for me to buy matcha? I also need to buy this.
And the master class.
And the master class. No, today we'll do the master class absolutely free for all our viewers. Can we do without this?
Of course you can, and moreover, the Japanese often do it this way. That is, if you go into some sushi bar in Japan, well, you know those sushi bars where the plates go around?
Yes.
And there you sit at the table, you have a little jar with matcha powder in it, and a tap with hot water. You take a glass, pour some for yourself, and add this water. It's not very hot, just the right temperature, about 80 degrees, right? And you just stir it with a spoon and drink it. Brewing a nice warm green tea is easy. It delivers the vibrant color and flavor instantly.
My friends,
this tradition may seem complex, but it's not. Let me demonstrate. Apologies for not letting you speak. I'm just very passionate about this.
Yes, you love it too much. I understand, but I'm going to interrupt you. Anyway, we'll show how it's done, how beautiful it is, how traditional it is. And can I just do the same thing with a spoon next to you?
Go ahead.
Okay, let's proceed with that approach. The water is about 70 degrees, right? What do? We take the matcha, right? This one?
This one, that's it.
We open it. I'm really curious. I prepared my own cup and my own spoon.
Take about 3 teaspoons.
Like this?
That's fine, yeah.
And I just pour water in.
And just pour warm water in, yeah, and mix it so that you get an even consistency. I'll take some too. I have this special spoon, so everything is done properly.
I'm going to try 2 teas.
A special wooden spoon.
Listen, well,
I made a bit more because I want to use it later for a cold drink.
all right. The color is beautiful and I like it, but there are some lumps.
Yes, you just need to gently mash the lumps. Basically, this is...
So, the whole challenge with the spoon, as I understand it, is to catch all the lumps that will be here.
And now I'm going to make the classic traditional version. First, we pour in a little bit of water.
Why didn't you tell me I needed some water? It might have been easier for me.
Well, we're not exactly... Well, maybe. I just do this so rarely. Here. First, I poured a little bit, and now I'm bringing it to an even consistency. So I poured it, now I'm pouring in the rest of the water, pouring it out. And now I'm going to whisk this. There's a special motion you use with this whisk. So we don't move it all around the whole bowl like this, but instead we whisk it in this kind of flat motion, whisking, whisking, whisking until foam appears. And now we're going to drink. I'll pour us a little bit each to try just a sip.
It's a little bitter, very concentrated.
It's a little bitter, a little tart, and a little sweet. You can especially notice it in the aftertaste.
Yes, the aftertaste is really sweet.
Sweetness. And sometimes matcha also has this light creaminess.
You know,
It all depends on the specific...
I really want to ask my viewers, friends, has anyone ever tried matcha in its pure form or not? If you have, how do you like the taste? What does it remind you of? I have this feeling. The very first thought I have is that I'm drinking some kind of brewed hay. That's it. But I wouldn't say it's not tasty.
Please comment if you've tried authentic brewed hay, so I'll know immediately.
You know, I feel like it's as if I'm lying on a hayloft at my grandma's in the village. My memory immediately brings up exactly this kind of story. When there's the sun and the hay that's already been cut and dried by the sun. It's so nostalgic.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, it's not that hay is bad, it's just that it brings up certain memories.
That's a good association.
Interesting, yes. And really then some kind of sweetness appears.
There are a lot of flavors there. Right now we're drinking a specific type. It's a very good one. It's called ceremonial grade matcha for tea ceremonies. Currently we have about 6 different types of matcha, while all green, each one is slightly unique.
Each one is a little bit different, right?
With different notes in the flavor.
You know, I have to add that after I stood and chatted for a bit, it changed in flavor and became even tastier. Come on, try it.
That's how it should be, of course.
The last sip was delicious. I want to try this one now. Our second option is what I just scooped up with a spoon. I didn't do anything with any proper movements.
If possible.
All right, fine. You've never tried it like this before. Here you go. Honestly, I think this one tastes better right off the edge. Maybe because it's not so concentrated.
Probably, but for me it's the opposite. I actually like that really rich flavor.
In short, you just need to try and experiment.
You need to try and find the options that work for you. Many people drink matcha primarily for its health benefits, not necessarily because they enjoy the taste. Currently, much is being written about this topic. The Japanese are highly focused on health and good nutrition. And so they're already there, let me tell you. Tea arrived in Japan in powdered form, but matcha as we know it today began around the 16th century when stone mills emerged, making it possible.
I've heard that matcha is first of all some kind of antioxidant, right?
Like all green teas, it's a potent antioxidant. The leaf used for matcha is special as it is grown specifically for this purpose. Around 2-3 weeks before harvesting, the plant is shaded to reduce the content.
So the technology and cultivation are part of it as well.
And the cultivation is special, yes. This leaf is used mainly only for matcha, Then it is specially dried, and then all of it is ground up. And it's ground up, well, it's not stored as powder for years. It's ground and sold within a year.
Okay.
Yes, and in terms of antioxidant activity, this is probably the most active tea.
Last time, you and I made something to go with the tea.
That's right.
This time, I read a lot of smart books and watched some clever commercials. And I suggest we don't make something to go with tea, but rather something out of tea.
Something with tea, yes.
Something with tea. How do you feel about that?
I'm all for it.
I have a recipe. Well, obviously I've never actually cooked before, right? I just found this cookie recipe. It's cookies, but with matcha tea added. But I need 2 kinds of tea. One is this green one that we just tried, and the second one is roasted. And it's like chocolate brown, like that.
Hojicha, which literally means roasted tea, is also a traditional Japanese thing. It's usually just, well, roughly speaking, in Japan it's considered a cheaper, more common everyday tea, and there's a lot of it there. They really take tea leaves and roast them in a special way. That's why it's the darkest, tastiest with that roasted aroma. And if you grind it, you get hojicha matcha. I also have some of that right now in powder form, so we can try it together. Yeah, and we'll definitely bring some. We haven't brought it yet because after all, this is green matcha. People love it for its color and its taste, for health and for fashion.
One last question before we start baking. Tell me, please, when it comes to heat treatment, so if I don't set it to 60 or 70 degrees, but instead pour boiling water over it, or put the cookies in the oven at 180 degrees, does it lose its properties or not?
No, that's a completely different process. When we're talking about water, there's an extraction of certain substances. In the dough, totally different things are happening.
So just add it to your baking and everything will be fine.
Everything seems fine now. We'll verify its quality.
It's just that I also saw, did you try it without dissolving it?
Yeah, I love it. I just take it like that.
Why do I want to? I want to ask you to try it because I've seen options where they add it, they sprinkle it on salads.
Salads, a bunch of recipes. I'll give you a book with recipes, Japanese cooking recipes with tea. Matcha is used in various dishes, including fish, meat, and pasta.
Listen, it's delicious.
It's delicious, that's what I'm saying.
It's delicious. Guys, it's just powder, but it's delicious. Let's put everything aside for now and make the dough for the cookies.
Are we going to make it cold later?
And while it's sitting in the fridge before the oven, we'll make iced tea.
All right, deal.
And for the dough, we've measured out 400 grams of flour. Add 2 eggs, 200 grams of soft butter, 135 grams of regular white sugar, and 135 grams of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, just use 270 grams of white sugar. Try not to forget a teaspoon of salt and 1 packet, that's 10 grams, of baking powder. We'll also need chocolate chips, but I don't have any, so I'll use half a bar of white chocolate and half a bar of dark chocolate instead. And without trying too hard, I'll chop all of this up. The chocolate goes into the dough as well, and then we carefully mix everything until it's a smooth, even mixture. We put our dough onto a floured surface, and all that's left is to divide it in half. We need to mix roasted matcha tea into 1/2. Look, I'm just pouring it in like sand. And carefully mix it in. One sausage is ready. Why am I always mixing? You do it. And in the second one, we add some beauty green matcha. Your job is to mix it all together carefully. Come on, start mixing.
When you're working with matcha, here is its
powder.
Dusting, yeah. It's such an interesting thing.
Like cocoa?
I'm not very good at it. I'm not really used to kneading dough, but
you're doing pretty well.
But I'm used to rolling tea leaves, and the movements are similar. Pretty much the same ones, right? When you take a pile of leaves and roll it like this, with these kinds of movements, the leaf gets twisted, crumpled, and then you can put it to ferment or do something else with it. That's why.
Okay, we'll go ahead and roll the leaf into a little sausage so that we have one just like this.
Tasty.
Like here, we have 2 sausages ready.
We make one out of them and cut the cookies. Look at what we got. We shape them into circles and place them on the baking sheet.
Actually, we somehow made these cookies and now they go into the freezer for an hour. While the dough is in the freezer, we decided to make some iced tea after all. We have summer for 10 months, 11 months a year, it's summer here. Andrey says, let's make some pretty pitcher with iced tea. But the problem is that in a non-drinking house, there isn't a pitcher, a nice pitcher, for anything, for any cold drinks.
But look what I have.
In a non-drinking house.
Suddenly, in a non-drinking house,
A decanter was found by chance.
yes, that's why I think it's nothing serious.
He looks great, I think.
Why don't we pour some iced tea here? How do we make tea?
We whisk it, but you can also whisk this matcha the same way. That's how it's done. Many bars now make various cocktails using matcha.
Does it whip up beautifully?
Yes, very much so. Most people really put in the effort. They have that whisk, they have the bowl, they brew it just like that, and then they mix it. There can be alcoholic cocktails, or maybe just a cold cocktail, I don't know, with some kind of coconut cream on top. Generally, you can imagine anything. Right now, we're making a simple recipe, I think. Just cold water, matcha, whipped in a bowl, and orange. Oh, someone came. Someone is probably waiting for cookies.
Are you here for the cookies?
I'm here for that. All right, you're here for me anyway.
I'll let Dad go soon, but let's have Dad show us anyway.
I'm pouring water. We already have matcha. We pour cold water straight from the fridge.
We pour it in here.
Go ahead, pour it out.
Drinking from this beautiful cup is so nice. It's lovely to the last drop. And I suggested making it with lemon, and Andrey suggested making it with orange. That's why.
Yes, you can experiment. Use anything you want, as I said. Try it, it's great. And matcha, it gives this specific light bitterness to any drink. And this hay flavor, according to your classification, which goes really well with both sour and sweet tastes.
By the way, yes.
It turns out to be a really good flavor combination. I'm not even talking about how healthy it is or how refreshing it is and all that other stuff. And the color too.
And the color, of course, the color is just amazing. It's green. Well, I think that's enough orange for us. Here you go. We'll drink the matcha ourselves and you get the rest of the orange.
So are we going to pour it? Where to?
Let's pour it. I think since it's summer, we should also add some ice.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This jug reminds me of something like an Arabian Night. You know, like a lamp with a genie.
Well, something Eastern, but we are in the East after all.
That's why I'm saying it. It's just that kind of shape.
Well then, ice and let's pour. Shall we make it a little pretty? Cheers to us.
To ours and yours. Super.
This is really delicious, friends. It's really delicious. We figured this out. The cookies are in the freezer. Soon we'll put them in the oven. We can go have some tea. And I have a question for you. Coffee, coconut milk, desserts, have you already tried them all?
With matcha?
Yes.
No. I have to say that I got into this topic, as I mentioned, relatively recently. And before I went to Japan, it seemed to me that somehow it just didn't appeal to me. I tried it a couple of times and I was like, damn, something's not right. But when I went inside and looked at the people who do it and how it all works and tried probably the highest quality taste, it was just... Now, when it comes to green tea, we only drink Japanese and half of that is matcha.
I know that in Israel today, you are probably one of the few tea suppliers.
Yes, tea of this level. Well, people do take matcha, they try, yes. But we work directly, a little commercial break, with those people who actually grow and produce all this, and we're always in touch with them.
So it's straight from the source. Do you actually have enough tea for people to start making it themselves?
I have enough, and Japan is just a few hours away by plane, so we'll bring more. No one will leave without matcha.
My friends, write to me about what recipes you want. Baked goods, main dishes, cocktails, or anything else. I actually already like the iced tea. Today we'll try the cookies, and if I like them, I'll be happy to make more videos like this with matcha powder and tea.
Yeah, by the way, another really cool thing is matcha ice cream. In Japan, it's sold on every corner. I haven't seen it here at all yet.
I even know how to make it.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah, it's made.
In no time at all.
There's even a machine with soft serve ice cream.
No, we'll make it at home.
In short, this thing is really cool. It's a combination.
So the next recipe is ice cream with matcha. Stay tuned. Our creation is freezing. We ended up with these two colored discs. We're making this for the first time. We shaped them however we could. The most important thing is that they're tasty, right?
Well, it does look nice.
It does look nice. We're putting it in the oven, 180 degrees, 13 minutes. 13 minutes have passed.
It was green and it stayed green.
Yes, look, it's both green and brown. Everything is just, it's really beautiful, really beautiful. Shall we try it and wash it down with some cold matcha tea?
Yes.
We just need to wait for the cookies to cool down a little and then we'll try them. Cookies and ice cream, all together. No need for any strudel, right? What could be tastier? Well, the child has already tasted it. The child has already tasted it and said, wow.
We've already waited for half an hour.
Yes, we've waited for half an hour. Basically, we're not really, risk takers to eat it while it's hot, so we waited for it to cool down. Let's try it. It looks good. The cracks turned out great. It smells wonderful. For some reason, it smells, I can't even say what it smells like. It smells like matches, too.
Here. Also because there are two different
ones. And there's chocolate here.
I don't really eat or like sweets, but this...
Listen, it's delicious. It's crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. The chocolate chips melt on your tongue. I think I'll actually start making something with matcha. I liked it.
Great.
The taste is interesting. Some cocktails I think would be just amazing with it. Salads.
You can try anything you want.
I don't know, anything.
Feel free to conduct the experiments and share the results with me afterward.
Stay tuned for recipes with matches. So go ahead and try it, experiment. And basically stay on trend.
Yeah, let me know how it works out for you. The trend is still kind of in its growth stage. So, any new recipes, suggestions?
Yes, send them in.
Perhaps you'll create an awesome recipe.
If you've already cooked something with matcha, send me the recipe. I'll be happy to film it and try it out. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.